Coaches, we are at war with the machines. Well, that's what everyone believing the ChatGPT hype will have you believe. So much so, I'm actually getting messages from concerned family friends going, have you seen this? Will this put you out of business? AI is gonna crush you, bro. I went, okay. Actually, one of my friends even went as far to enter this search into ChatGPT, and he got back this. Okay, not without merit. There's some structure to it, a little bit of logic. But am I worried? Am I wrapping up shop on smart endurance solutions? Absolutely not. Why? Well, first off, as a kid from my generation, machines have been trying to destroy us for quite some time. Anyone remember this movie?
Shall we play a game?
Secondly, this is not new. A lot of people have come to me with machine learning, AI programs, building plans, etc. before. First time it was really discussed was 6 years ago in a Training Peaks endurance conference. Everyone's terrified it was going to wipe out coaching. No, hasn't happened. And I'll talk a little bit of the reason why. In fact, my business has only grown year on year ever since I've been in operation. So, and thirdly, I'm also aware from my IT experience and implementation as a consultant, the limitation of AI and machine learning. So I'm going to talk a little bit about them now. Okay, so the first main limitation for me of AI ML is the fact that humans want and will always need some level of human interaction. For the business people watching this, remember what happened when your companies tried to move everything or most of the CX processes to chatbots. Remember the CSAT figures? Well, there you go. For coaches, there's, yes, at a base level, you can have take inputs such as race type, athlete ability, hours to train, and then you can feed in things like level of completion, heart rate variability, changes in functional threshold power, and the machine can create the plan and evolve the plan, which is fine. But there's lots of key variables that aren't inputable or may not be captured. So does the machine know you've had a shit day at work? Does the machine know that you're moving house that week? Does the machine know that you won't have access to a pool? Does the machine know that you're kind of find certain sessions very tough mentally rather than physically? Those are hard to program into a business rule. And there's certain outputs and actions that can't be programmed. You can't tell the computer how to offer empathy if you turn around and say, listen, was it the kid was up all night, I didn't get any sleep, so they go, look, take a rest day. The computer can't offer the level of accountability that athletes crave. Yes, it can turn green in a dashboard because you completed it, but when your coach goes in and goes, actually, that's an improvement on your average heart rate, or actually you missed that interval, what happened? That level of accountability and dialogue is invaluable to an athlete. Also, the machine doesn't have experience and never will. So for example, if you're lying in bed awake, nervous about your big A race the next day and you're terrified, try sending a WhatsApp to your machine and see what response it gets. Send it to a coach who's worked with you on that journey and see what happens there. You've got this, we've got the train in the bag, try this, remember this plan. So machines will never ever knock that on the head. The second main limitation for AI and ML for me is that it's best positioned to replace simple, repeatable transactions, okay? Coaching and a lot of business processes are miles from that. And these complex processes and touch points with your athletes and your customers are the reason why you can drive retention and customer growth. Because if a customer feels it's valuable and he's getting an actual dialogue and you're trying to work with them to help them along the journey, they're going to stay with you. They're also going to tell their friends, and that you'll grow the business that way, rather than just a simple computer generated response pointing you to an article here or putting up a red in a dashboard. You cannot underestimate the impact of that. The third major limitation of AI and ML for me is, admittedly for now, it's limited in its integration with kind of key technology, especially for athletes. Yes, you can go to ChatGPT and enter in and ask for an Ironman training plan, but it won't work with your training peaks, it won't work with your final surge, days plan, whatever you're using your calendar to capture all this, or your Garmin, etc., etc. So this again is the point number 2. It works well with simple, repeatable transactions. The minute you add in a level of extra layer of technology and add the complexity of trying to getting the right data in and the right data out, it's not as simple, and the machine cannot compute. Okay, so I've talked about the 3 major limitations I see in AI or machine learning. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. As I said, it can and will never be human. It doesn't work very well with complex multivariable transactions, one of which involves emotion. Good luck programming that, coders. And then the third is it currently doesn't interact or integrate well with existing technology that a lot of athletes and customers already are heavily reliant on. So, what does that mean? Now, before I go on, don't get me wrong, I am a massive advocate of technology. In fact, clearly I am. I'm coming to you on a cloud-based software or video hosting site, which I recorded on my iPhone. And also like technology such as Training Peaks as a cloud-based software system where I can communicate with athletes all over the world, Zoom to collaborate, WhatsApp, real-time communications, etc., etc., have allowed me grow my business. So the fact that I actually do sell in over 80 countries in the world, I've helped thousands of athletes with plans. In any given year, I help out around 20 to 30 athletes one-to-one, only possible with technology. So big fan of tech. But how do we battle and win against the AI and ML that's coming to destroy us? This is what I'm doing, and this you can take it on board, or you can take it with a pinch of salt. 1, I'm doubling down on the human element, and as such, we've taken on 2 assistant coaches this year. We've taken on 2 admin staff. Why? Because I want people who interact with my company have a personalized response, know that their query is taken seriously, and when they're under a coaching banner, that they get real-time feedback and they actually, from a person who understands racing, who understands training, who understands the life-work balance. That's key. Second thing I'm doing is we're building more of a community, even for people who aren't in our one-to-one squad. We have subscription-based service. We have a closed Facebook community. Get people talking. Get people talking, interacting with one another. Let them share experiences. There's a lot of knowledge in the room. Again, human interaction. And the third thing I'm doing, I'm bringing much more personality to it. You guys are the secret sauce. Anyone can write a query into the computer and get a vanilla response back. Bring your personality, bring it into your interactions, don't be restricted in terms of your tone of voice. It's be yourself, magnify it through technology, and people who will like you and want to work with you will come. The people that won't, they'll go elsewhere, which is absolutely fine. You always need to find that fit, and there'll be a lot more people that will fit with you than you realize. Those are the ways we will destroy the machines. Thanks for listening. If you found it interesting, subscribe and like, and I'll give you some more opinion pieces later.